शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत्। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। v33 अहंकारोऽत्र चिद्युक्तः कर्ता भोक्ता हृदि स्थितः मनोऽन्तःकरणं स्थित्वा हृदि वृत्त्या बहिर्व्रजेत्। Status of Atma as Sakshi is being established with respect of sight, seeing. With the eyes we see, with respect of that, how Atma gains the status of being a Sakshi. Here Sakshi with respect to what is seen in terms of form. Otherwise for Atma, when we say Sakshi, it is the one who makes us know everything. So directly that way Sakshi. Here from the standpoint of sight it is established. So now in this body there is Hrit Padma. Hrit Padma, the heart, which is Hridaya Kamala, it is said, which is endowed with nadis. Nadis that is nervous system. Nadis are there. These nadis are spread over all the bodies and it pervades entire body. In this Hridaya, who is there? Ahankaraha. Ahankara, the notional I, the wrong concept that I am the body, etc., which is Antakarana Vritti, that Ahankara, Chidyuktaha, endowed with Chit Pratibimba. So Chidyuktaha, Chit Pratibimba Yuktaha, he is there. Then what happens? Let us see. Manaha Antakaranam Hridi Stitva Vrittya Baihi Vraje. Manaha, here Mana stands for Bhoga Sadhanam. Bhogadhikaranam is what? Deha. Gross body is the place where we undergo all the experiences, but actual instrument of experience is Antakarana, the Manaha. Therefore Manaha means here Mana to be taken as not one of the four faculties of Antakarana, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, not that mind, intellect, memory and Ahankara. Here Mana has to be called the Bhoga Sadhanam, the instrument of experience, namely Antakaranam. Antakaranam, what does it do? Hridi Sthitva, abiding in Hridaya. Which Hridaya? The actual heart, pumping heart. Hridi Sthitva. So what does it do? Vritya Bahirvraje. Vritya. Sviya Vritya, by its own vritti. Vritti is modification, means thought here. Vritti is thought. By its own modification called vritti, a thought, Sviya Vritya. So Bahirvraje, it goes out. Where does it go out means? With this. At wherever the Vishaya sense objects are there. Ghatapatadi Vishaya Sannidhana Kale. Suppose an object is in the proximity, within the purview of the sight of the eyes when the object is there, and when the eyes are directed towards the object, the rupa, the form of the object, at that time what does this do? This antakarana vritti, it goes through the eyes to that object. How exactly it goes is further now being described. So first he says, vritya. Vritya means sviya vritya. And what is that one so vritti? Antakarana vritya. By antakarana vritti, by a modification of antakarana in terms of thought pattern, what does it do? Vahihi, it goes out means it goes to the sense object which are in the vicinity within the purview of the sense organ. How does it go? Let us see. Rashmivat prasruta vrittihi nadyapnotyakshi golakam asvatantra bahishchakshuh indriyena sahavraje. Rashmivat prasruta vrittihi nadya akshigolakam apnoti. Nadya akshigolakam apnoti. Asvatantra. Put there comma and then add ataha chakshurindriyena saha bahihi prajet. Asvatantra, add ataha chakshurindriyena saha bahihi prajet. These vrittis, not these vrittis, this vritti. So from antakarana, this vritti, what does it do? Rashmivat prasruta. These vrittis of antakarana are prasuta. That means they are spread, or it is spread. How? Rashmivat, like the rays of the sun. Just like the rays of the sun. Why so? Antakarana is constituted of which guna? Sattva guna. Sattva guna stands for knowledge, and that much of subtlety is there in this. It is like radiation only. Like radiation, this antakarana, that means like the rays, it radiates. So therefore he says rashmivat, that is manasaha swachha dravyatva. Mind being something which is swachha means sattva guna, predominantly sattva guna. It is constituted of sattvic content of all the 5 elements. So therefore, because sattva guna is the constituent. So manasaha swachha dravyatvat surya rashmivat prakasha swabhavaha. This antakarana is like the rays of the sun. How the rays of the sun spread, so also antakarana radiates as it were. So that being the case, surya rashmivat prakasha swabhava manasaha sukshmaushaha eva vrittihi uchyate. A subtle aspect of manas means antakarana itself is called as vritti. Manasaha sukshmaushaha eva vrittihi iti uchyate. That is a very subtle aspect of this antakarana. Itself is called as vritti, the modification of antakarana. And this is rashmivat prasruta. It is spread. This vrittihi, what does it do? Nadya akshigolakam apnoti. Nadya means nadi dwara. To the channel of nadi, to the nerves. So through channels of nadis, akshigolakam apnoti. It gains means it reaches the akshigolakam means actual eyes. Our external eyes, this eyes by which we see, it reaches there. But it is of this nature. What is it? Asvatantra. It can't go on its own unless the indriyas are there. Asvatantra means bahendriyam vina swayam bahir nirgantum akshama. Without the external sense organs, that is the eyes, ear, nose, tongue, touch, here eyes only we are analyzing with respect to the eyes. So, without external sense organs, this Antakarna has no capacity to go out. Like the outlets, these are things. Asvatantra, therefore, what does it do? Chakshurindriyena saha bahihi braje. It goes out to the corresponding sense object, here to the form, so through what? Chakshurindriyena saha, along with the eyes. Chakshurindriya means with the eyes, it goes to the form that is there in its vicinity. Now we can see this, how in Dakshinamurti Sutra. Nana chidra ghatodara stita maha deepa prabha bhaswaram jnanam yasya tu chakshura dikshara karana dvara bahi spandati. This is what it is. So like a lamp, a very mahadeepa, not ordinary deepa, a very bright lamp kept in a pot with 5 apertures. 5 holes are there, and it should be in the dark place. And what happens? That light emerges from these 5 holes and illumines whatever object there which is in the path of this beam of light. Like this, here are 5 apertures. What are those? 5 jnanendriyas: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch. To these channels, what is that? Chaitanya, which is reflected Chaitanya, where it is reflected in Antakarna. Through the channels of nadis, it goes out. One thing is interesting, we'll see now. When it goes out and reaches the Vishaya object, it dispels the ignorance of the object and makes us know the object. One thing peculiar about this is quite other way than what neuroscience is. What neuroscience is? The stimulus reaching the not reaching the indriya, let us say eyes, then to the nerves, goes to the cortex, and there it is, the perception is processed by minute electric impulses. And these minute electric impulses in the neurons, they fire off these minute electric impulses and pattern is created. And that pattern of electric impulses give the perception. That is what they say. Actually, this should be correct, because where is the dynamo actually? Where is the knowledge principle? In Antakarna, no, not directly Antakarna, in the reflected Chaitanya. Reflected Chaitanya in the Antakarna. And it is with Antakarna being made up of Sattva Guna that only has got the capacity to spread the knowledge aspect of that. That may be the correct one. Maybe it is a matter of research. We can't say much about that. In fact, they should take help of such things to probe further. So whatever it may be. So now he says, what is a Rashmivat? Like the rays of the sun, this vritti through the channel of nadi first reaches the eye, Chakshurendriya, and through Chakshurendriya, along with the eyes, it reaches the object, the here Rupa. What does it do? Let us see now. Vrityavachinna chaitanyam घटाकाशवदेतया वृत्त्या सह बहिर्गत्वा तत्र ज्ञानं नुदेत्क्षणात् वृत्त्यवच्छिन्न चैतन्यम् एतया वृत्त्या सह बहिर्गत्वा तत्र ज्ञानं क्षणात् नुदेत घटाकाशवत्. This Chaitanya, which Chaitanya? Vrityavachinna Chaitanya. Chaitanya which is limited, conditioned by Antakarna Vritti, means Chaitanya which has got reflected in Antakarna Vritti. Antakarna being made up of the Sattva Guna, and Chaitanya, Sattva Guna is capable of reflecting Chaitanya, just as say, though Chaitanya is everywhere, it can get reflected only in the Antakarna, because Antakarna is constituted of Sattva Guna. Just as light is everywhere, now say, in the open sun, light is everywhere, but light can get reflected on a reflecting surface. Smoother the surface, brighter the reflection. Even the walls also do reflect the light, but it is not clear. But if the mirror is there, it is very clear. So likewise, in Antakarana, only Chaitanya, that means the Chitta aspect, the knowledge aspect gets reflected. That is why we get this division of inert and sentient. Otherwise, Chaitanya is all pervasive. Everywhere what should be there? Sachetanata, sentiency must be there. But we don't find, we find the difference of Jada and Sachetana, inert and sentient. Because only where Antakarana is there, Chaitanya gets reflected, the Chitta aspect, the knowledge aspect gets reflected. And we say that it is Sachetana, sentient. Rest we brand as Achetana, in the inert. Though Chaitanya is verily there, just as light is everywhere, but only where the reflecting surface is there, it gets reflected. So like this, Vrityavachinna Chaitanyam, the Chaitanya conditioned by this Antakarana Vritti. What does it do? Etaya Vritya, that Chaitanya reflected there. Etaya Vritya, by this Vritti. Which Vritti? Which has now traveled through the eyes to the particular object, the Rupa, sight, at the side. Vritya Saha, with that, Bahirgritva, Bahirgatva, having gone out. Who goes out? No. Vritti going in earlier stanza. See, that Vritti goes with the Chakshurindriya in the earlier stanza. Now who goes? Chaitanyam. Vrityavachinna Chaitanyam. The Chaitanya Tattva, the pure awareness principle goes out. So through how? To the Vritti. Vritti has gone means in Vritti what is there? Reflected Chaitanya is there. Reflected Chaitanya also has gone. So Vritya Saha Bahirgatva. Tatradnyanam. What is Tatradnyanam? Tatratyam Adnyanam. Tatratyam Adnyanam. The Adnyana abiding there means the ignorance with respect to that object. What is the object here? Form, Rupa. The ignorance of that object, because you don't know what the Rupa is, you saw, and before that you could know what it is. That process is now, that is step by step analyzed here. So, Tatratyam means with that which is with respect to that Rupa, Adnyanam, ignorance, what does it do? This Chaitanya, Kshanat Nudet. Nudet destroys. How? Kshanat. Just within a moment, what does it do? It removes the ignorance, means you are able to see the form of the object. Oh, this is what it is. This is the flower. This is the flower. You can know this is the flower. This is how the process of seeing has taken place. Any doubt here? No? Very clear. Author knows there should be a doubt. He knows there should be a doubt. Therefore, he has given some illustration also. We have no doubt at all. Who goes? From where it goes? Chaitanya goes. From where? From Antakarana to where? To the Rupa object. What is the nature of Chaitanya? Sarvavyapi. How come all pervasive Chaitanya can go one place to other? Space can't travel from one place to other. So Bombay space has, because you have come here, Bombay space has come here. If Bombay space comes, another problem. All pollution also will come here. So no. So therefore what? Now, how come Chaitanya travel? Because it is all pervasive. Being all pervasive, there is no question of Chaitanya going from Antakarana to the Vijaya. So it is not told Chaitanya. What was told there? Vrityavachinna Chaitanya. Truly speaking, Chaitanya cannot travel, because being all pervasive, much more pervasive than the pervasive, all pervasive space. So for which he says, we say in Lok, that means common parlance, that it travels. How? An illustration is given. So Ghatakashavat, like the pot space travels. For me, the question is, Sarvagatasya Chaitanyasya Katham Gamanam. This Chaitanya which is Sarvagata, all pervasive, Katham Gamanam. How is it possible for the Chaitanya to travel from Antakarana to the Rupa of the object that is in front of the eyes? How is it possible? Means not possible. So that is, this is the Shanka. So for that Gamana going is not literally so. Aupadhikam. Because of the upadhi, it appears as though. Therefore, aupadhikam eva gamanam ityaha ghatakashavad iti. That going is secondarily because of the upadhi of the vritti. How? Like ghatakashavat. When you take a pot, in that pot, ghee is there, let us say. 1 kilo ghee is there. And you purchase it at the shop. Okay, let us, instead of pack, nowadays you can't say bag, let us say, all polythene bags. Okay. Example is same. 1 kilo ghee in a polythene bag, you purchase at the shop and you are going home. What happens? That space in the bag or the pot, does it come with you or not? Otherwise, what will happen? Your ghee will remain at the shop. You have already paid. Otherwise, no problem. You have already paid and you are with the empty bag there at the home to get the scolding from the wife afterwards. You don't know Vyavahara at all. So, therefore, how is it possible? Therefore, what you say that space also is a travel. Really speaking, space doesn't travel. Why it doesn't travel? Wherever the pot goes, space is already there. So therefore, wherever this vritti goes, Chaitanya is already there. Chaitanya bhasa pratibimba has to be there. That's all. That's why he says ghatakashavad. So ghatakashavad, like the ghatakasha, though doesn't travel actually, we say it travels because space is everywhere. Wherever you carry the pot, there must be space conditioned by the ghata. So therefore, that is the way, the secondary way of saying traveling. Not truly, Chaitanya cannot travel that way. Ghatakasha. This way, what are this? The Chaitanya reflected in vritti has terminated the ignorance about the rupa, the vishaya here, the rupa. In this way, before this corresponding vritti reached the object, ignorance about the object was there. Now what has happened? The knowledge has taken place. Tadvrityagamanat purvam ajnanena samavritam bahyam jagat tadajnanam taya vritya pasaryate. Bahyam jagat tadvrityagamanat purvam ajnanena samavritam taya vritya tad ajnanam apasaryate. It now generalizes that ajnanam nudet was told in the earlier stanza. So this Chaitanya which has come to the object now through the vritti, of course again with the instrumentation of the chakshu, it removes the ignorance of that object. That ajnanam nudet is further explained in generalizing the same thing, not only with respect to eyes, with respect to everything, not simply the form. Bahyam jagat tadvrityagamanat purvam ajnanena samavritam taya vritya tadajnanam apasaryate. Bahyam jagat, external world means external jagat comprising of the sense object, ghatapatadi, all the vishayas, all the objects that are there in the external world, that is referred to as bahyam jagat. External world, ghatapatadikam. What does it do? What happens to them? Tadvrityagamanat purvam. Before that vritti reached there. Which vritti? Antakarana vritti. Now if you take the form through the eyes, if it is a sound through the ears. So that antakarana vritti which has got chit pratibimba, Shuddhabodhananda is already there. So before it reached purvam, earlier, ajnanena samavritam. Bahyam jagat ajnanena samavritam. External world was covered. Or covered means veiled by ignorance, means we didn't know about the particular objects that are there. That's what ajnanena samavritam was veiled by ignorance of those objects. When tadvrityagamanat purvam, before that particular vritti reached the specific object, then what happened? Taya vrittya. By that vritti. So which vritti it is? Chaitanyena saha bahirnirgataya antakarana vrittya. The antakarana vritti which has now emerged from the corresponding jnanendriya sense organ to that particular object which has got Chidabhas also, that with that by that vritti, tad adnyanam means the ignorance of those objects, ghatapatadi avarakam adnyanam. The adnyana which conceals, which veils the actual knowledge of ghatapata. Ghatapata means any pot, cloth, whatever it is, any object, a sample of for any object. So that adnyanam, what does it do? Apasaryate. Apasaryate means duri kriyate, is removed, it eliminated, and thereby what happens? Thereafter you know, oh, this is pot, ayam ghataha, ayam pataha, this is cloth, this is microphone, this is a book. Like this, what happens? We know the object. This is the jnanotpatti prakara. This is how the knowledge of any object takes place. How it takes place? Antakarana, where is it? In the hridaya. Now, the antakarana vritti through that corresponding jnanendriya travels to the object. And antakarana vritti has got chaitanya. That chaitanya also travels through the vritti to the object. And ignorance with respect to the object that was there, it dispelled. And this is what the object, this knowledge is gained. This is how the knowledge takes place. Now the question is, who actually removes the ignorance? Chaitanya. Which Chaitanya? Available in that vritti. Now look, if the Chaitanya in the vritti removes, traveling from where? Antakarana to the object. Why is it necessary? Your object, where is your object? Tell me. That whatever that, what is that? Rupa. Ghata, that rupa, where is it? Is it within Chaitanya or outside Chaitanya? Any object is superimposed where? In Chaitanya only. Just as your antakarana is superimposed, object also is superimposed on Chaitanya. And when Chaitanya is all pervasive, why not that Chaitanya remove the ignorance? Why do you need the Chaitanya from this vritti? And if it were not so, what can happen? If Chaitanya, look here. Now take this microphone. What is the distance between this microphone and Chaitanya? If Chaitanya were not there won't be microphone. Is it not? So means Chaitanya, entire Jagat is superimposed on Sarvavyapi Chaitanya. We call that Brahma. Chaitanya with respect to individual, what we say, the same Chaitanya with respect to the entire Jagat as its basis is called as Brahma. Here individual we may say Atma, there we may say Brahma, but stuff is one and the same. So now this Chaitanya is superimposed, not this microphone is superimposed on Chaitanya. I am asking you to look at this microphone, see the shape of this microphone. So you direct your eyes toward this microphone. So antakarana, what antakarana does? Antakarana vritti through the eyes reach here. And that antakarana vritti has got Chaitanya pratibimba. This Chaitanya travels through that antakarana vritti to this and removes the ignorance of why all this is necessary. We can simplify, is it not? Let this Chaitanya which is already present, in which this microphone exists, why should it not remove the ignorance? Why do you need antakarana? Then the eyes, and then traveling, directing the eyes toward the microphone. All these efforts, why necessary? Huh? No. Asanga. One by one. Look, if Chaitanya by itself had the capacity to remove the ignorance, do you know what will happen? You and me will not be here also. Nor will we have the embodiment. Right? Ignorance will not have any locus standi. Chaitanya is all pervasive. And if all pervasive Chaitanya removes the ignorance, ignorance will not have any occasion to be anywhere, because when did Chaitanya was born? Without birth, without destruction, all along Nitya is there. So there is no occasion for ignorance to be there. Ignorance is at what level? Antakarana. Ignorance is in the Antakarana. Knowledge also has to take place in Antakarana. At the same level, the knowledge has to take place. So therefore, the question arises, why do you say that Chaitanya in the vritti removes the ignorance? Why not the Chaitanya on which this microphone or that ghatapata is superimposed? Why not remove that? He explains with the help of illustration. That is, घटादिकं वृत्त्यागमनात् पूर्वमपि चैतन्ये एव अध्यस्तं वर्तते. What he has said. Now घटपटादिकं वृत्त्यागमनात् पूर्वम. Before this vritti came, antakarana vritti came to that particular object. Even earlier, पूर्वमपि चैतन्ये एव अध्यस्तं वर्तते. It is there where in only in the Chaitanya only. Now why? Because Chaitanya is sarva vyapi. If that is the case, tena chaitanyena tad ajnanam kutaha napasaryate. Tena chaitanyena, by that Chaitanya, ajnanam, this ajnana, kutaha napasaryate. Why is it not dispelled? Because already the object itself is in Chaitanya. Chaitanya can remove that ignorance. Why you need that vritti? So that is the question for which the illustration of a lamp is given. Not electric lamp. That means the lamp of the wick lamp as such. Vartinishto yatha deepastamo nashayate tatha. Chaitanyam vritti nishtam yat tadajnanasya nashakam. Yatha varti nishtaha deepaha tamaha nashayate tatha yat vritti nishtam chaitanyam tad ajnanasya nashakam. Tatha yat vritti nishtam chaitanyam tad ajnanasya nashakam. Mark it. First line it is varti nishtaha. Second line it is vritti nishtaha. Nishtam, don't make mistake. Both are not vritti, because you are familiar with the vritti. You are not familiar with the word varti. What is varti? Vat, wick. Marathi of the vat, wick. Wick is varti. Yatha, now look, tell me. A lamp, because the oil lamp, where the wick is there, and oil is there, and it lit, what does it do? It illumines, it gives the light. Light is from whom? Is it from the wick, or is it from the oil, or is it from the fire? Fire. Light doesn't belong to wick nor oil, it belongs to fire. But that fire is created by oil and wick, that's fine. So now tell me where fire is not. Where fire is not. Everywhere. If everywhere will get burnt, is it not? How come? At least tell me. Let us start from yourself only. Have you got fire? In some cases, too much here. Or too much here. Jatra, gluttons, gluttons. Or the firebrand. Firebrand, that is a different thing. Even in everyone's case, there is fire. Because of Jatra Agni, there is 98.4 Fahrenheit that is there. That fire is there. Okay. Wood, fire is there or not? Fire principle is there or not? Yes. Suppose two That is, bamboos go on rubbing each other, fire can get generated. In forest at times, fire gets caught like that only. So actually, from the Panchikarana standpoint, entire Jagat has got fire content. Panchikarana, 5 elements, how they mutually divide and get combined, means everything has got in a varying degree fire content. But do they give you light? What gives you light? The fire that is there only in the wick only, is it not? Likewise, Chaitanya is everywhere, but that Chaitanya doesn't dispel the ignorance. Only the Chaitanya abiding in the Antakarana Vritti is capable of removing the ignorance, because that ignorance is in Antakarana only. Whether knowledge of a given thing or the ignorance of a given thing, both are where? Antakarana only. So therefore, though Chaitanya is all pervasive, only the reflected Chaitanya, Chit Pratibimba, Chidabhasa, in Antakarana only is capable of dispelling the ignorance. So therefore it says, Yatha, just as Vartinishtaha Deepaha. Deepa here is not lamp, light. Deepa also means light. We say lamp is general meaning, but Deepa also means light. Yatha, just as the light which is that Vartinishtaha, abiding in a wick of a lamp, what does it do? Tamaha nashayati, just as it removes the ignorance, not the ignorance, darkness. Tamaha, the darkness. It dispels the darkness. Tatha, in the same manner, yat vrittinishtam chaitanya. The Chaitanya abiding in the vritti, the antakarana vritti, tad ajnanasya nashakam. That only can remove the ignorance and not the Chaitanya everywhere. So therefore we need an antakarana vritti corresponding to the object that is perceived. That means the ignorance is removed by the Chaitanya abiding in particular vritti. All experiences are given by antakarana vritti. That means, and the antakarana vritti necessarily contains Chaitanya, otherwise it is not able to give you experience or it is not able to give you knowledge. Now, how your sorrows are coming? Whatever may be the cause of sorrow, how exactly you experience the sorrow? Through vritti only, is it not? Vritti means it is not simply the vritti with the Chaitanya Chit Pratibimba in that. Now this vritti is because you are walking in the morning by open eye meditation and you are so much engrossed in the walking, you hit to a stone and toe started bleeding. Pain or pleasure? Pain. Who reported to you? Morning we have said. Through what? That Chaitanya in that penakar antakarana vritti. Now will not that Chaitanya also will have pain now? Chaitanya will also have pain now. It says whether pain or pleasure reported through antakarana vrittis, where invariably what has to be there? Chaitanya Pratibimba is there. But that Chaitanya is least concerned about sukha or dukkha. It is aloof. It is aloof. That is why it is called Sakshi. That's why it is called Sakshi. Because it makes you know, but itself is free from sukha dukkha pertaining to that antakarana. So earlier, what is the status of Sakshi was involved? That is established. That is how you gain the knowledge of the form. Means what happens? The one who makes you know is who? Chaitanya only. Of course, through the medium of antakarana vritti. But even that means though it makes you know, itself is free from both sukha and dukkha which are presented to you by that antakarana vritti. See, vrittya saha bahirgatasya chaitanyasya. That is the Chaitanya which has gone out through whom, with whom? Vritti. Vrittya saha bahirgatasya chaitanyasya sukha dukkhadi anubhava sakshitvam eva. Sukha dukkhadi anubhava sakshitvam eva. It has got the status of only being the sakshi, making you know the sukha dukkha which have got presented through this antakarana vrittis. Whereas natu sukha dukkhadi bhaktvam. Itself, the Chaitanya itself doesn't undergo the sukha dukkha. Natu sukha dukkhadi bhak. Bhak means bhajati iti bhak. Means one who receives, one who experiences. No, Chaitanya doesn't undergo either sukha or dukkha. It only sakshi. With this presence they take place, but itself is free from that. That is now shown in 38 and 39. That means, though without antakarana vritti, wherein Chaitanya is there, you can't know anything. Whatever that you know may give you pain or pleasure, but that Chaitanya is totally free from both pain and pleasure. This is very important. Our all samsara problem lies here because of this misunderstanding. What happens in antakarana vritti, we superimpose on Chaitanya, and then I am sukhi, I am dukhi. That is what samsara is. In fact, my true nature Chaitanya is least bothered about sukha or dukkha. Itself is Paramananda Swarupa. Nothing to do with the joys and sorrows to the sense object. So therefore it says, Esha Hrinnishta Chaitanya Padarthokshna Bahirgataha Vyapnuvannikhilam Tatra Vyatham Napnoti Kanchana Eshaha Hrinnishta Chaitanya Padartha. See, while reading, we stopped at Hrinnishta Chaitanya. Actually, you can't stop there. You have to continue to say Hrinnishta Chaitanya Padartha, because Hrinnishta Chaitanya Padartha is one phrase. It is not a sandhi, it is one compound. A compound you can't, this compounds have to be resolved, but you can't break like sandhi there. Anyway, for convenience, we stop there. Eshaha Hrinnishta Chaitanya Padarthaha Akshna Bahirgataha Tatra Nikhilam Vishayam Vyapnuvat. Tatra Nikhilam, add their Vishayam. After Nikhilam, add Vishaya Adhyara. Tatra Nikhilam Vishayam to be added Vyapnuvat. Kanchana Vyatam Na Apnoti. Kanchana Vyatam Na Apnoti. Esha Hrinnishta Chaitanya Padartha. This Chaitanya Padartha means Chaitanya. Where is it? Hrinnishta. Hrinnishta, what is Hrit? Hridaya. Hridaya means Antakarana. Means through Antakarana vritti. So, this Chaitanya abiding in Antakarana vritti, Akshna Bahirgataha. Where has it gone now? Through the Indriyas, through the medium of Antakarana vritti, it has gone outside. Bahirgata, to the Vishaya it has gone. There what does it do? Tatra, in the case of that object, Nikhilam Vishayam Vyapnuvat. Pervading, permeating the entire Vishaya, the object. Then what happens? Even suppose because of this, that object, some pain, the sorrow is there, it doesn't get that at all. Vyapnuvat. Kanchana Vyatham Na Apnoti. Doesn't gain any Kanchana, Na Kanchana, not at all. Vyatham, Vyatham is sorrow, pain. Sorrow, it can, Vyatha is sorrow. Sorrow, it doesn't gain unto itself. Whom does belong this sorrow? Antakarana. It belongs to Antakarana. Means sorrow belongs to Antakarana and not to Sakshi. Not to the Chaitanya. It belongs to Antakarana. Just you see the moon reflected in the water being torn into bits of pieces. Or shaking. Shaking belongs to moon or the wall, reflecting water. Reflecting water. Likewise, if sorrow, see, look, this also, this is something which we can, this neuroscience also has certainly explained that. So that is what morning we have seen. Sorrows are processed where? In the particular aspect, part of the brain. That you are aware of that, is it not? That which makes you aware of it, Chaitanya is free from no sorrow. That's why in sleep there is no sorrow at all. Why? This is not, the sorrows are not processed there. So that is very important thing. Another thing, actually, another investigation of neuroscience is very useful for us. We say Jagat is mithya. And people who have no shraddhas, they raise their eyebrows. How is it possible? Now you can find out. See, schizophrenic cases, you know that? Schizophrenic cases, these patients, they see things that are not there. They hear things which are not actually there. In fact, that one incident in Vietnam War, one soldier who was fighting, so it happened that they were in groups, there 6 or 7 of them were there. And from enemy's side, the firing was going on. Among the 7 of them, rest all 6 got shot dead. And this fellow also got wounded and fainted. After he didn't die, he was rescued afterward. But afterward, that horror, that horrible scene that he has seen many times, afterwards was after many years, he was reliving that experience. Means actual what has happened, screaming as it were. Why? Some gadbad has taken place. Means for that person, as far as the brain is concerned, is depicting the same scene which is not there outside now. At that time was actual, when the war had taken place, it was there. But now is not there. But he is complaining same thing. We may say, kya ho gaya? He has gone mad, schizophrenic, we may say. But as far as the neurologically is concerned, the mind is, that means the brain is presenting the same pattern of electric impulses which had given him the actual horrible sight of shooting around, and his colleagues were being shot down. Externally, what is not there? That incident and all that incident is not there, yet he is reliving. Satya or Mithya. So therefore, what we experience, or what Vedanta says, what we experience is what is presented by Antakarna and not what actually physically is present. That is why one and the same word is a place of pleasure for someone and is a horrible, miserable thing for others. So that is how this shows mithyatva. So only because it is experience, it can't be real, it is mithya. Anyway, so now here it says that it doesn't belong to whom? Belong to Sakshi. Let us see now. Whom does it belong? Pratikulattu vishayadya vyatha satu manasi na chaitanya gatetevam acharya spashtam abruvan. Tu pratikulat vishayadyaha, no, not vishayadyaha, pratikulat vishayadya, sandhi there, break it, sandhi like this. Tu pratikulat vishayat, then ya, vishayat, ya has become by sandhi vishayadya. Ya, vyatha, add bhavati, sa tu manasi syat. Sa tu manasi syat. Na chaitanya gata iti evam. Mark the sandhi. Chaitanya gata iti evam acharyaha spashtam abruvan. Acharyaha spashtam abruvan. So that means first what he said, that vyatha, that sorrow doesn't belong to whom? Sakshi Chaitanya. The question is, whom does it belong then? To. Whereas, in contrast to what was told, that it doesn't belong to a Chaitanya, it belongs this way. To, and how it has got generated, that vyatha, sorrow, how does it get generated there? So, to pratikulat vishaya. The vishaya that was seen was pratikula. Let us say, our example is through the eyes. The death of some near and dear. The person saw. Is it what? Vyatha or Ananda? Vyatha. So therefore pratikula. If something undesirable is there, so that pratikulat vishayat, what was seen was pratikula, adverse, not desirable at all. So there what happens? Ya vyatha bhavati. Whatever sorrow is born, vyatha, sorrow, whatever sorrow is born, says sa vyatha, that sorrow. Tu means in contrast to what was told, it doesn't belong to Chaitanya Atma, tu, whereas it belongs to Manasi Sya. It is something that pertains to Mana, mind means Antakarna only. It is belonging to the mind and not to the Chaitanya present in that particular Antakarna vritti. So he makes it very clear. Na Chaitanya Gata Vyatha. That Vyatha is not Chaitanya Gata. It is not the one which pertains or belongs to Chaitanya. How do you say so? He says this is all explained by great masters in the past also. Therefore he says, Evam Acharyaha Spashtam Abruvan. So, great masters, Acharya. Here Acharya refers to Sureshwara Acharya. So Sureshwara Acharya has told very, very clearly. He has very clearly told this, means he has made it very clear. That means in this perception, what all things have gone out now? One is Antakarna Vritti, other one is Chaitanya, Chit Pratibimba. And how Chaitanya Pratibimba has gone, we know. Actually Chaitanya can't go, how it goes, we know. Among these two, the sorrow belongs to Vritti and not to the Chaitanya which has gone. That's what he wants to say. And this is made clear by whom? Sureshwaracharya. Where Sureshwaracharya has made it clear. How has he made it clear? Let us, a very important stanza, where is he said in Brihadaranyaka Vartika 1-4, 560 stanza and 561st stanza. Brihadaranyaka 1-4, 560 and 561. Elsewhere also Sureshwaracharya has quoted the same stanza. I am not telling you. I would like to know from some people, let us see, some of my students who are attending that, who are, oh, that's why I am telling Naishkarmya Siddhi. So in Naishkarmya Siddhi also these two stanzas have been quoted, and these two stanzas you can find in my commentary of Drigdrishya also. Very, very important thing, clue to make us, that means make us sure that sorrows belong to whom? Antakarna, not to me. However grave the sorrow may be, it is presented through Antakarna vritti, certainly belongs to Antakarna and not to Chaitanya, which makes you aware of it. It is just, look, sun illumines the world. Whether there is a war or a marriage, the sun is least concerned. Suppose the sunlight falls on the filth. We have seen this. Sunlight doesn't become filthy. Filth belongs to who? It is that whatever that is there belongs to the filth only, nothing to do with the sunlight. Likewise, Chaitanya makes you know sorrows, but the sorrow belongs to Antakarna vritti and not to Chaitanya. That also shows sorrows are at what level? Antakarna means Upadhi level. Upadhi level, not at the Chaitanya level. And what is true I? Embodiment, Upadhi or Chaitanya? The Chaitanya. And yet we suffer. Why? We take the Upadhi as so that is where the problem lies. Now say where this Vartikakara Sureshwaracharya has told this. Dukhi yadi bhavedatma tasakshi dukhino bhaved dukhina sakshita naiva sakshino dukhita tatha yadi atma dukhi bhaved add tarhi dukhinaha sakshi kaha bhaved tarhi dukhinaha sakshi kaha bhaved dukhinaha sakshita na eva add yukta naiva add yukta. Actually Naishkarmya Siddhi and Vartika, it is in the place of naiva, the word is ayukta. Here we have to use that adhyara to be made, yukta to be added. Again, sakshinaha dukhita add api tatha. Tatha means ayukta or naiva yukta only. The fact is, sorrows do not belong to Sakshi Swarupa Atma. Now just to convince us, let us suppose, just supposition, sorrow belongs to whom? Atma. Just a supposition. Not like no, what in the geometry, what you have got, reductio ad absurdum method. If a theorem is to be proved which cannot be proved directly, what do you do? We take for granted, suppose something contrary to the theorem. And what we have supposed is absurd, we prove, therefore the theorem holds good. Now what you have to prove here now? Atma, the sorrows do not belong to Atma. This is the truth, this is the fact. Now if anyone doesn't agree to this, okay, let us suppose sorrows belong to whom? Atma. In that case, what absurd things will follow, we'll see now. Means it cannot hold good, will be shown now, will be proved now. Yadi, in case, just a supposition, Atma Dukhi Bhavi. That means sorrow belongs, Dukhi means who? What a question it is. Swamiji, we are expert in that. PhD in Dukkha. PhD in Dukkha. What are you asking us? And I'm not asked that way. Dukkha asya astiti dukkhin dukhi. Dukhi means, Dukhi is not sorrow. Dukkha is sorrow. Dukhi is the one who is endowed with sorrow. Simple. Dukhi. Plus, English what you say, sorrowful. English what you say, sorrowful. Sorrow is different and sorrowful is different. Sorrowful belongs to a person and not to the sorrow. Sorrow is actual experience. Also, dukkha is the experience. Dukhi is the one who has got the dukkha. Now, if Atma is the one who has got the dukkha, sorrow is a supposition. Atma, the question is asked now, Dukkhinaha Sakshi Kaha Bhavi. I am Dukhi. Who has to say now? Atma. Who knows Atma is Dukhi? Come on, tell me. Dukkhinaha Sakshi. Look here. Your friend came and all face was what? Totally dried up. And who is that friend? Always a cheerful friend. Hey, what happened to you? Why? You saw him so sorrowful, is it not? Okay, you saw him sorrowful. Now, Atma is sorrowful. Who can know? आत्मा का बाप होगा उधर और आत्मा की माँ होगी. No. Bhagwan will know. Bhagavad Sarupa is what? Atma Sarupa is Bhagavad Sarupa. How can you? Because sorrow is to be dukkha. When you are sorrowful, you know or not? But then what a big question. Atma is sorrowful. Who knows? Atma knows. Anything wrong? Come on, figure out. I think I can give homework now. You are sorrowful, but the mistake is that you are sorrowful. Which you are talking? You are talking upadhi, sorrow, etc. And you have already committed the mistake of identifying with the body and you are say sorrowful. That sorrow doesn't belong. That's what we have to establish now. That means actually sorrow where? Upadhi antakarna. You Chaitanya illumined and made known, but because of your problem of identifying the body, you say, I am sorrowful. When you say, I am sorrowful, truly speaking, that I is distinct from the sorrow. Otherwise, you yourself, if you are not distinct from the sorrow, you can't know. Do you know why? Simple common sense of grammar. Subject itself cannot be the object. You can't ride over your own shoulders. You become so tired, went for a walk with enthusiasm, climbed the top of the hill, but was returning so tired. Okay, let me have a ride on my own shoulder. Some rest. Not possible. So therefore, here because of error it is so, there it is Chaitanya. That means if Atma is Dukhi, who can know? Because there is no other knowledge principle than Atma. That's what is important. Atma is the only knowledge principle available. And if it is sorrowful, means that it should be known, means that Atma should have another knowledge principle because of which it knows, what can I do? I have got this sorrow. It says it is not so. So therefore the question is asked, says, Kaha Dukkhinaha Sakshi Bhavet. Why not? The reason is given, Dukkhinaha Sakshita Naiva Yukta. If you say, no, Atma itself is Sakshi of his Dukkha. Dukkhinaha Sakshita Naiva Yukta. This is a fact. What is that? For Dukkhi, that is, anyone who is sorrowful cannot have the status of being Sakshi, means one who makes you know. The corollary also is true. What is that? Sakshinaha Dukkhita api tatha means Naiva Yukta. Naiva Yukta. Why? The very Sakshi means that which makes you know something abiding in something other than itself. Have you not seen Sakshi in the court of law, etc.? That Sakshi witness speaks of whom? Of some incidents wherein he is not a party. If the person is a party, he can't be a witness. Atma is Sakshi means it makes you know something which is somewhere other than itself. If Atma itself is Dukkhi, then what happens? The Dukkha is part and parcel of who? Atma. To know that some knowledge principle other than Atma is required, there is no such principle. Who is going to know the Dukkhitva of Atma? Not possible. And therefore, Dukkhinaha Sakshya. And really, Atma is Dukkhi. That Atma cannot have the status of Sakshi. Again, Sakshinaha Dukkhita Tata. Even that which is Sakshi cannot have Dukkhi, because these two things can't go together. Swasti prajabhya paripalanam Sarve